Page 1. Better Never to Have Been, The Harm of Coming into Existence, by David BENATAR. To my parents, even though they brought me into existence, and to my brothers, each of whose existence, although a harm to him, is a great benefit to the rest of us. 0.0 Preface. Each one of us was harmed by being brought into existence. That harm is not negligible, because the quality of even the best lives is very bad and considerably worse than most people recognize it to be. Although it is obviously too late to prevent our own existence, it is not too late to prevent the existence of future possible people. Creating new people is thus morally problematic. In this book I argue for these claims and show why the usual responses to incredulity, if not indignation, are defective. Given the deep resistance to the views I shall be defending, I have no expectation that this book or its arguments will have any impact on baby making. Procreation will continue undeterred, causing a vast amount of harm. I have written this book, then, not under the illusion that it will make much difference to the number of people there will be, but rather from the opinion that what I have to say needs to be said whether or not it is accepted. Many readers will be inclined to dismiss my arguments and will do so too hastily. When rejecting an unpopular view, it is extraordinarily easy to be overly confident in the force of one's responses. This is partly because there is less felt need to justify one's views when one is defending an orthodoxy. It is also partly because counter-responses from those critical of this orthodoxy, given their rarity, are harder to anticipate. The argument I advance in this book has been enhanced as a result of a number of engaging critical responses to earlier versions. Anonymous reviewers for the American Philosophical Quarterly offered worthy challenges, forcing me to improve the earliest versions. The 2 papers I published in that journal provided the basis for Chapter 2 of this book, and I am grateful for permission to use that earlier material. Those papers were considerably reworked and developed partly as a result of many comments received in the intervening years and especially while I was writing this book. I am grateful to the University of Cape Town for a sabbatical semester in 2004, during which 4 of the book's chapters were written. I presented material from various chapters in a number of fora, including the Philosophy Department at the University of Cape Town, Rhodes University in Grahamstown, South Africa, the 7th World Congress of Bioethics in Sydney, Australia, and in the United States at the Jean Beer Blumenfeld Center for Ethics at Georgia State University, the Center for Bioethics at the University of Minnesota, and the Philosophy Department at the University of Alabama at Birmingham. I am grateful for the lively discussion on these occasions. For their helpful comments and suggestions, I should like to thank, among others, Andy Altman, Dan Brock, Bengt Brulda, Nick Foshin, Stephen Nathanson, Marty Perlmutter, Robert Segal, David Weberman, Bernhard Weiss, and Kit Wellman. I am most grateful to the 2 reviewers for Oxford University Press, David Wasserman and David Boonen. They gave extensive comments that helped me anticipate the kinds of responses critical readers of the published work could have. I have attempted to raise and reply to these in revising the manuscript. I am sure that the book is much better for having considered their objections, even if they are not convinced by my replies. I am acutely aware, however, that there is always room for improvement, and I only wish that I knew now, rather than, or never, what improvements could be made. Finally, I should like to thank my parents and brothers for all they do and for all they are. This book is dedicated to them. D.B. Cape Town, December 8, 2005. Page 9.